And George had a lot of cargo which he needed to move from Nairobi to Colombo, which was also one of the countries, one of the cities that was actually affected by the tsunami, and we were quite fortunate that we came to his rescue. And that was the time when George was in World Vision, and we uplifted close to 600 tons of cargo from Nairobi to Colombo, and this was achieved on a fleet of MD-11 freighters. So George, thank you again for hosting this event, and it's a pleasure to be a member of HLA, and we're also proud to be your sponsors for this event. I'll just make a quick presentation just to give everybody an insight of what we are doing in Kenya and also in the region. I'll first start off with a small introduction of who we are. So we are a cargo airline, and we only do cargo. We've not really done any passenger flights, but we are a cargo airline. We've now been operating for the last 20 years. And we have a scheduled freighter service which we currently fly from Nairobi into Europe. We carry perishables from Nairobi into London, and our hub is in Belgium, in a city called Liège. And in addition to that, we also operate a scheduled service within East Africa. And the points which are of interest is, for example, South Sudan. We've been operating there for many years, and we've also been operating into Mogadishu also for a long period of time. So in addition to Tanzania, Rwanda, Djibouti, DRC and Zambia, we actually operate scheduled services for cargo to almost all of these destinations. In addition to that, we also do a lot of charters for the relief, peacekeeping and for projects. And we cover approximately 50 destinations in Africa, and this is including the hotspots which I refer to as South Sudan, Somalia and Yemen. We have a fleet of 7 cargo aircrafts, and we've just recently introduced a cargo drone. I'll be talking a little bit about it. So our smallest aircraft is a Fokker 27, which can carry 6 tons. And we also have a fleet of DC-9s, 727s, and we have 3 747s in our fleet. And in addition to that, we have offices in the US, Europe, Asia, Middle East and South Africa. So this is what our fleet looks like. So we have 3 Boeing 747 freighters like what you see up over there. And this is what we really fly from East Africa into Europe. And on the southbound, we fly into West Africa and then into East Africa. And a good example of this aircraft is that when we had the cyclone in Mozambique, we uplifted a lot of cargo from Europe and from Dubai into Nairobi. And then we moved some of the cargo into Pemba and into Beira, and some of the cargo was for USAID. We have the Boeing 727 freighter, which can carry 22 tons. And you might have seen this in Djibouti because we are often there at least a couple of times in a month. We have the DC-9, which can carry 14 tons. And last but not the least, we also have the Fokker 27, which can carry 6 tons. So this is our cargo drone. This is currently the largest cargo drone in the world, and I was actually hoping to share with you a video of what the cargo drone can do, but unfortunately with some of the tech challenges which we are facing today, we're not able to share with you the video, but we have a stand, and if any of you wants to look at what this drone can do, then please get in touch with us. Now this is a real drone. It's not something which is sort of a prototype, and let me tell you what this can do. So first of all, this is made in Spain by a company called Singular Aviation, and they've actually manufactured about 20 of these FlyOx cargo drones. The capacity of the FlyOx cargo drone is 2 tons, and it has a range of 1,300 kilometers. And the amazing thing is that it can land in unpaved airfields, and it can even land in water. So this is our flagship cargo drone. We have submitted our application to the Civil Aviation Authority, and as soon as we get the application, we will be flying it in to Kenya, and then we will be implementing a pilot project with the World Food Programme, and we actually have a letter of intent from WFP. So we are looking at a couple of pilot projects, one which would be in South Sudan and another one which would be in Kenya. And we would be inviting members of the humanitarian community to take part in the pilot project. And we expect that in the year 2020, we would now be able to offer this commercially to any client who would be interested in using the FlyOx cargo drone. So once again, I won't be able to share with you the video, but if anybody wants more information on the FlyOx, please feel free to see us outside and we'll be able to give you more information about it. So the FlyOx cargo drone is fuel-powered drone. It has 2 turboprop engines. It's manufactured in Spain, and what we have actually done with the FlyOx is that we've separated the cockpit from the aircraft. So what we have is a remotely, it's actually not even a drone, but you would actually call it a remotely piloted aircraft. And the amazing thing with this is that the cockpit is on the ground, and the aircraft is able to fly using a high radio or a satellite connection between the cockpit and the aircraft. And what we hope to achieve in the future is a situation where we can have one pilot who could actually fly 10 of these cargo drones. And currently there's been a number of pilot projects which have been done, and the video that I wanted to share with you was taken at a NATO airbase in Norway, which was done in September last year. And we did a 3-week pilot project in a city called Andoya, which is in Norway. And what we did was in this 3 weeks of flying, we achieved 256 miles distance from the base, and we had approximately 32 takeoffs and landings, and everything was done very, very smoothly. So the aircraft is currently in the Dominican Republic, and once it finishes the mission over there, again a very similar pilot project, then we will actually bring it into Kenya. So we have at the moment, we've put in a request to the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority to allow us to operate the FlyOx cargo drone for 3 months under a pilot project, which would also be supported by some of the organizations, including the World Food Programme. But we're also trying to look at the possibility of testing the FlyOx in South Sudan. So we've also applied to the Civil Aviation Authority. And because we are an airline, we believe that we have the credibility and the know-how to run a cargo drone operation, because obviously we've operated fixed-wing cargo aircrafts. So we're going to use our 20-year expertise and knowledge in flying aircrafts, and we would now like to look at the possibility of flying drones. So we are not a manufacturer, but we are an operator of drones. Thank you. So this is just our schedule map. These are some of the places we fly to in Africa. And I'll just quickly share with you some information about what we're doing in some of the hotspots. For example, in South Sudan, we've actually been flying there for the last 14 years. We've uplifted in excess of 25,000 tons of cargo by air. And we also took part in a very large airdrop operation in South Sudan, which was coordinated by the Operation Lifeline Sudan. I'm sure some of you might still remember the days of OLS, and we were quite proud to have operated a number of airdrops in South Sudan. Again, we have carried a lot of cargo in the last 14 years. We've carried cargo from pre-independence to post-independence. We carried cargo for the elections. We carried cargo for the different events which have actually taken place in South Sudan. And we have a base at Juba Airport, and we also do our own handling over there. So currently we fly 3 times a week from Nairobi to Juba, and we carry cargo from anywhere in the world into South Sudan. Similarly, we've been flying in Somalia for the last 12 years. We've uplifted in excess of 15,000 tons of cargo. And currently we carry a lot of the FFVs for the UN peacekeeping mission in Mogadishu. And in addition to that, we also operate flights into some of the domestic regions in Somalia, which also includes Kismayo, Balidogle, Baidoa, Galkayo, and Bosaso. We also operate into Hargeisa, and currently we operate 3 weekly flights from Nairobi to Mogadishu, and we have a dedicated flight on Sunday, which is for the fresh fruits and vegetables. Again, Yemen is a very important part of our operations, and we've been operating into Yemen now for the last 3 years, and most of our flights are actually routed via Djibouti, and we've uplifted in excess of 2,000 tons of cargo. And we've operated mainly into Sana'a and Aden Airport, which are the principal airports for humanitarian cargo. And the entire operation in Yemen is very sensitive. Currently, Yemen is in the middle of a war. And we've been quite fortunate that we are one of the few airlines which are actually permitted to fly into Yemen. And we have a special security clearance which we have from the coalition. And before we fly into Yemen, they actually restrict the airspace for the humanitarian flights. So it's quite an important thing that goes on and it takes a lot of effort. So we've done in excess of 180 flights and we've not had any incidences at all. And last but not the least, I just wanted to quickly share with you about what we did in Mozambique recently. So we had 2 cyclones which hit Mozambique in the earlier part of this year. During the time of Cyclone Idai, we performed the first flight which actually landed in Beira was performed by one of our aircrafts, and we were there in Beira 3 days after the cyclone had actually ended. And we uplifted in excess of 1,000 tons of cargo. And then immediately after that, we had the cyclone Kenneth, which hit Pemba. And we also uplifted approximately 300 tons of cargo, out of which 250 tons was for USAID. Now, we've learned a lot of things in the last 20 years, and I just wanted to summarize it into 3 parts, which I think would be very important for all of you and also for members of the Humanitarian Logistics Association. And the first thing we believe is that there is a need for greater collaboration between the humanitarian community and the logistics fraternity. And the sad reality is that there is at the moment a lack of collaboration. So what we really feel is that we really need to collaborate more, and we are appealing to the Humanitarian Logistics Association to be the platform of collaboration. And through collaboration, we believe that we can actually be able to improve service delivery, we can actually be able to minimize gaps, we can minimize wastage and duplication. There's also a need for better communication, and the sad reality is that we're not just communicating at all in the event of crisis. And what we've noticed is that a lot of mistakes are being made when you do not communicate effectively. And what we really urge is for better communication, especially in the preparedness stage, and to also look at what are the existing and potential logistics capacities, constraints, and gaps. And we need to interact more at a national level and at an international level. And last but not the least, we also believe that there is a need to actually have an IT platform which can connect all members of the humanitarian community with the logistics community, so that we can actually be able to share information on available air assets. We can be able to share information on logistics providers, warehouses, supply chains, and also have a pool of logisticians and important country information, so that we are better prepared in the event of crisis. And I'm actually talking from 20 years of experience, because we've actually participated in every major humanitarian crisis, not only in Africa but in the world. And this is really 3 points which we'd like to share with the humanitarian community and the logistics fraternity, that we really need to collaborate more, we need to communicate better, and we really need to make sure that we use IT in actually looking at combining the information and how we can actually pass it on. And again, our ultimate objective is that we have to make sure that we have an improved logistics response and capacity, and this is really the ultimate objective of what we are really about. And really, until and unless we do not get our act together with regards to the way we react and the capacity that we provide, we will not be able to solve a lot of the problems that are actually coming up in front of us. Thank you very much.